What is good, YouTube? It's Casper back with another video. I'll be talking about a movie that literally have no idea that this existed and heard about it, but I kind of had the idea that movies like this exist. The movie I'm talking about is the movie Ticks. Get straight to it. Movie Ticks, this movie was introduced to me by just being on the watch list on just aspects of just watching a movie that's not too good. So I've been watching a lot of good movies lately, good high quality type of films, and this movie right here was just one of those laid back, easy, fun movies to watch. Ticks is a 1993 movie. It's rated R and it's an hour and 25 minutes. It's directed by Randel, starred by Rosalind, Dolenz, Seth Green, Virginya, Keehne, Oriel, Alfonso, Ribeiro. Kind of funny to see Carlton in here. This movie is about a group of teenagers. They go on basically like a camping retreat in California, and they go into the woods, wilderness type of area. When they're camping in the woods, they have no idea that this whole place they're camping at is infested by mutated ticks, blood-sucking ticks. To start it off, the quality of the movie was not great at all. The camera work, just tell that it was, you know, the budget was, they worked with what they had. Camera quality wasn't the greatest. A lot of the acting, the lines in there were a little corny. One person that stood out the most was actually Seth Green. He stood out the most, to be honest, for me, because I just watched the movie that he was in, and he was in Enemy of the State, so that was actually a shocker to see him in there. Seeing Seth Green as an actor and performing in front of the camera, I said he did the best job in this movie. He had more of the feel of that type of era. His performance was the one that didn't feel like it was too off, even though the whole movie had off lines and acting sometimes, but it wasn't like super terrible. But Seth Green had the best performance in the movie. Another actor that I say would do a good job, but the acting and the lines were a little corny, and you know, he's just given what he got and has to do what he has to do for the movie. Alfonso Ribeiro, he plays Carlton in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think it was around the same time he was doing that, and then he ended up doing this movie as well. Makes me laugh at the fact that you got Will Smith doing banger movies, and then you got this dude who's funny on French Prince of Bel-Air, and then he's doing movies like Ticks. Don't get me wrong, the cast is cool, you know, you got Seth Green in it, but Alfonso plays the character Daryl. It was just dope to see him in the movie. It wasn't like it stood out performance. The lines in there were questionable. A lot of his mannerisms and how he presented those lines, it seemed like a first try type of thing, and more of like he's an actor, so he's confident in his things. You could see, I don't know, it just felt a little off. Just the fact that I seen him in French Prince of Bel-Air, I guess it fit somehow. It made me laugh that this dude got the worst death in the movie. He literally got the worst death. This dude went through so much, and he had a lot of lines too. When the movie was over, I found that pretty funny. Damn, Carlton had like the worst and most brutal death in the movie, so that's one thing that, you know, sticks in my head. There's not much to say about this movie. It is what it is. The thing I did like about the movie is like the POV of the ticks. The ticks don't look too terrible. I do like the POV when the camera's following the tick and you see how like the tick is moving around. I thought that was pretty fascinating. It was a different look at the movie, and I like that part, to be honest, because I was like, that's hilarious. Even back then they were being somewhat creative on just changing the camera angles. But there's not much to say that this movie stood out so crazy. The soundtrack for the movie, I would say, fit the movie as well. Wasn't like, oh man, that soundtrack is off. The acting, you know, it's not the best acting in this movie. It's just one of those movies like you could just, like I said, fun watch, make fun of the characters. That's pretty much it to say about it. There's not too much to say. Got actors like Seth Green and Alfonso up in here being like the main stars, so I guess the fact that they're on there, you know, the good outweighs the bad. Not a banger to crazy criticize, you know what you're watching, but I just wanted to give my opinion and what I thought of the movie, you know, so that's basically what I thought about it. Movie's like a horror sci-fi type of movie. You can see the goofiness in the type of movies like this. After watching my movie Ticks my first time, I'm gonna have to give it a 7 out of 10. There's not too many good things to say about it, and there's basically a lot more bad things to say about it. It's a 1993 movie, so you kind of understand what you're gonna watch. If you haven't seen this movie, say you've seen it, recommend it so people could think you're, you know, you're like a psycho bringing up movies people never heard of. Like, I've never heard of this movie, but the fact that I've seen it now, I'm gonna randomly recommend it and let's see who looks at me weird or turns their head and be like, what? So that's my movie review for the movie Ticks. Shout out to you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace, y'all.